least get into the fact that, I mean, it's no surprise here. The Los Angeles Lakers are tied for the most televised games with the Warriors, Thunder, and the Knicks, all at 34 games nationally televised. Are you surprised with this, or is that per usual for the Los Angeles Lake Show?
It's come to pretty much every year, even the down years that Lakers had. They had quite a few nationally televised games, had games on Christmas still, things like that. So yeah, it's part of the when you look at the schedule, you want to see kind of what teams have those marquee matchups and that are nationally televised. And as of late, it's been Lakers, it's been Warriors. I think Knicks and Thunder are joining the party this year. Thunder for obvious reasons, and Knicks probably just it's New York. They're one of the favorites in the East. But yeah, definitely no surprise that Lakers are right up there amongst the teams with the most nationally televised games.
The only surprise for me was I thought the Thunder would be mad disrespected and they would have like 25 or 30. And
I was thinking that too, actually.
But, you know, you got to give some respect to the champs, and I'm glad the NBA did, because obviously the Thunder have some great young players and they're a fun team to watch. So this year they'll finally get some recognition and be on more nationally than they were last year.
Yeah. I when we were talking before the show about the teams that had the most, I had a feeling that it wasn't going to be the Thunder, but obviously I was wrong. But just because it's just small market, it just tends to be that way. But fun team, young team. The NBA really wants to showcase them, I think, since they kind of are the present and the future. And so, yeah, I mean, if you didn't learn a lot by their playoff run last year, you definitely will this regular season.
Oh, for sure, because they'll be hunted this season, obviously, because of the champs. It's gonna be a little different for them because they've been the number one seed 2 years in a row, so they're gonna have a little target on their back, and we'll see what they're kind of made of this year, with them being the front runners in the NBA.
Yeah, yep. It's definitely targets on their back. We'll see if they have any bit of a hangover. When you're trying to get that first title, I think everybody goes all out. People sacrifice. You're not really worried about feelings. You're not worried. I mean, not that you're not worried about money, but there's people try to get theirs after they win it. And so they have gotten theirs, a lot of those players. So yeah, it's there's a reason why it is a chat, even though NBA has always been a kind of like a team franchise type of like league, but it is tough to win back to back. It is tough to obviously then win 3 in a row. And so I think we saw that with Boston last year. I'm pretty sure Boston was a huge, like pretty big favorite, like throughout the season. Obviously Thunder were there too. And you know, they ran into a Knicks team. So it's we'll see. We know at the end of the day though, they're going to be, 1, 2, 3 seed in the West. And then it all just depends on what they do after that. But yep, we'll see how they do.
Yeah, exciting to hear about it and see that they'll obviously be on all these streaming networks that we have going on. So how do you feel when you saw that post of every day of NBA and what channel or streaming device it's going to be on? What was your initial thoughts when you saw that Monday through Sunday national lineup?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up here real quick. I know.
Because mark me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time they've been on every single day on national TV? Like, like a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday. I mean, I know they've had obviously the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They've done the TNT on those 2 days, Tuesday, Thursday. Wednesday was always ESPN, Friday's ESPN. They've done Saturdays and occasional Sundays. So I guess for the most part, they did most of the days, except for Monday. I don't remember ever having that, except for it was a holiday. The only thing it would be like holidays or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like through the years, like obviously, coverage has changed. As of late, ABC has brought that Saturday night game, but for a long time, there really wasn't any Saturday games other than, of course, playoffs, but or holidays. And so I know, like thinking about it, I'm like, oh wait, so I guess they did have like a Monday for sure was just kind of like a because I think big part of it is Monday Night Football and things like that. But it was traditionally not. And then, yeah, Fridays would usually be like an ESPN game. And so, yeah, I mean, just looking at it, like just to kind of to recite it. So Mondays, Peacock, Tuesdays, NBC and Peacock, Wednesdays, ESPN, Thursdays, Amazon Prime, Fridays, Amazon Prime and ESPN, Saturdays, Amazon Prime, ABC, and then Sundays, we get everything ABC, NBC, and Peacock. So I think what's like, I guess feels different about it is obviously Amazon. And then like Tuesdays, you have like NBC games, which is like different because we're, for us, folks that are used to NBA and NBC, we're just so used to it being weekends, like your Sundays. So it's definitely a little different to see it during the week, but yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. We know what was it? You said 34 of them will be the Lake Show.
Yeah, I mean the Tuesday NBC is going to be just totally thrown off because we're so used to that like TNT on Thursdays, like the guaranteed like pretty big games. So we'll have to figure out that kind of like concept of it being on Tuesdays. And like you said before, it was always on a Sunday, like NBC. Oh. So it's like the nostalgia of it has kind of lost this little thing because Sundays were such a big day in the NBA when it was on NBC. I was just shocked to see how many Amazon Prime has, because what's that? They have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that they could possibly have games, and to me that was pretty shocking.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I was interested to see how they were going to divvy it up. Not sure. I forget what the playoff. I know ESPN is going to have a lot of the playoffs, and so is Amazon Prime. I think like one of the conference finals, but yeah, they definitely got a lot. And so they have a big presence, as we all know. Them having Thursday Night Football really opened the doors just for everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll soon probably see baseball on there. You probably see hockey and God knows every sport, And so it's just where we are right now. It's just streaming. If you shy away from it, if these leagues shy away from it, or they're leaving money on the table, they're going to go for the big payday, and that's what happened. And that's what, just TNT couldn't keep up with that. But yeah, it will be, I know we're going to have some familiar names and faces that are going to be broadcasting these games, but I still am kind of like the nostalgic NBC is going to be pretty cool.
I mean, at this point, can we just go back to cable, or I could just go channel 2, channel 4, channel 7? I mean, now I literally have to go on my Apple TV and be like, all right, where's the game tonight? How do I go find it? Got to go to Amazon, got to go to Peacock. And it's like all these apps. And now we're paying for all these apps too. So I figure we're pretty much paying the same thing we probably paid in cable at this point with everybody streaming now. So
yeah, it's like, it's obviously hitting a certain demographic. I mean, I remember like as a kid, like watching, basketball with like my grandpa and like him watching games. I couldn't imagine. I mean, obviously like not to like age anyone or anything, but I mean, there are going to be people that it's going to be a challenge to figure out how to watch these games. But, the target audience is probably most likely going to know, but it is a little confusing for us, Laker fans. We're just used to the good old days of KCAL 9, watching the Laker road games. And, you knew exactly what channel, what time. In fact, it was funny. Remember they used to like not air the KCAL 9 games live. Used to have like a delay, like back in the day, not even that long ago, actually, where if there was like a 4:00 start, they wouldn't like start it our time until 5 or 5:30. Like,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that now because like even when they have East Coast games right now, there's no way in hell I can record a game.
Yeah.
And not check my phone to see what the score is and come home and watch it.
Yeah,
like it's just almost physically, mentally impossible for me to do that. So I remember back in the day, we would come home and be like, all right, let's get it started. You have no idea if they won or lost.
But the game was like
no idea how to check. because you had to check in the newspaper or whatnot, or I guess they would maybe play it in person, or you weren't really watching that when you got home. So, yeah, those are the good old days when they had a little hour delay, and you would kind of come home and watch it, and you still had the same feeling about it. So, those days have long passed. I mean, I agree that it's going to be difficult for some people, and for some are just not going to want to pay like for Peacock and not want to pay for Amazon. I mean, I would imagine most people have Amazon Prime, but there are probably a good percentage in the population that don't have either of the two. So that kind of sucks when you think about it. But we've kind of moved into that society of streaming, so it's just different.
Yeah, it is, and obviously, an Amazon pays like $1 gajillion for it to hope to get even more subscribers, right? And what that means is people then start buying items off of it. It's all part of the master plan. But yep, it's here. We got to embrace it. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Probably not in a long time, but we're gonna eventually have NBA Finals games, being streamed, and will we see a Super Bowl streamed? I think that would be like crazy, but it's possible. But yeah, this is kind of where we're at, and here we are.
That reminds me of, I saw something today. I didn't even realize it's at the KC and San Diego game that's on Friday. It's just streaming on YouTube. It didn't say like YouTube TV or anything. It just said YouTube. And
what the heck?
Like, is it just like you just go to YouTube, type it and find the game, or like it was the weirdest? Like usually you would say like YouTube TV or something like that. I remember last year it was on Peacock, but this year it just literally, if you look at it, it says YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out like if that's literally just YouTube is going to stream it. It's just it's the most random thing I've ever seen. So things are definitely changing.